Hello, today we're going to discuss something controversial about The Godfather. Does the film romanticize the mafia? Well, as we know, the film doesn't offer easy answers, but it presents a world where the line between honor and brutality is thin. To some extent, it can be seen as a romanticization of the mafia, but that's not its only layer of interpretation. The film portrays the Corleone family through a lens that blends brutality and honor, creating an almost mythical image of the world of organized crime. Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola, as artists, needed to captivate the audience, and one of the most effective ways to do that was by creating extremely intelligent and strategic characters. In both the book and the film, the mafiosi are not just violent criminals, but men of vision, planning, and sharp instincts, which makes them fascinating to the audience. Let's take a closer look. Vito Corleone is portrayed as a wise patriarch who protects his own and follows a code of honor. His refusal to enter the drug business contributes to making him a more admirable figure for the audience. In a brutal criminal world where other families are willing to do anything for profit, Vito adopts a conduct that, in the eyes of the viewer, makes him seem like someone who still has principles. This can make the mafia appear more noble. However, Mario Puzo does not romanticize the mafia as a whole. While the Corleones have a certain code of conduct, other mobsters, such as Sollozzo, Barzini, and the Tattaglias, are depicted as darker and more ruthless, representing an underworld where survival requires abandoning all principles, even one's own humanity. Sollozzo, the Turk, is a pragmatic and ruthless character. To him, the mafia is just a business, with no sense of honor or loyalty. His involvement in drug trafficking shows his willingness to profit at any cost, and his attempt to assassinate Vito makes it clear that he doesn't see violence as a last resort, but rather as a natural means to achieve his goals. And Barzini, the true mastermind behind the war, is different from Vito, who seeks to maintain balance among the families. Barzini is calculating and ambitious. He manipulates events from behind the scenes, instigating war and eliminating rivals without hesitation. He represents the model of the modern mafioso, who sees power as something to be taken by force, without concern for alliances or principles. The Tattaglias are portrayed as a family without great strategic vision, serving as pawns in Barzini's plans. Their direct involvement in drug trafficking and their alliance with Sollozzo place them in the role of criminals who lack a sense of honor or long-term planning, being driven only by short-term interests. And by the end of the film, Michael becomes a man more like Barzini than Vito. He not only eliminates his enemies, but also severs personal ties, even going so far as to order the death of his own brother-in-law, Carlo. Unlike Vito, who sought balance, Michael rules with fear and brutality. His coldness in the final scene, where he lies to Kay and closes the door in her face, symbolizes his complete transformation. He has abandoned everything, including his humanity, to secure the Corleone family's power. Thus, the criticism of the romanticization of the mafia largely stems from the way Vito Corleone is portrayed. He has a code of honor, avoids drug trafficking, and acts with patience and wisdom, which may lead some viewers to see him as a noble mafioso. His presence conveys a sense of order and justice within a violent and chaotic world. However, as the story progresses with Michael, the tone shifts drastically. The second act of the film, and its continuation in The Godfather Part 2, reveal a much colder and more ruthless underworld. Michael, unlike his father, does not rule with charisma, but with fear and brutality. He cuts family ties, eliminates allies, and becomes an increasingly isolated man. This shows that the mafia is not romantic or glorious. It is a cycle of betrayal, paranoia, and destruction. This shift in tone makes it clear that life in the mafia is not a glorious path. Puzo and Coppola start the story with the illusion of an honorable boss, but they later dismantle this vision with Michael, showing the real consequences of being in this world. Additionally, Mario Puzo makes it clear that the world of crime exacts a heavy price, regardless of a mafioso's intelligence or power. No one escapes unscathed. The tragedy of the Corleone family is not just the result of external betrayals, but also the relentless nature of this underworld, where any mistake or display of vulnerability can be fatal. Puzo does not create a world where mafiosos simply succeed without consequences. On the contrary, he shows that once inside this game, there is no safe way out. Even Vito, who tried to maintain balance, suffered violently. His children paid different prices for their involvement in crime. Sonny died young, Fredo was killed by his own family, and Michael, though he survived, lost his soul. Throughout the story, the message is clear. In the world of crime, no matter how powerful, intelligent, or careful a mafioso is, sooner or later the price comes due, and it is always high. Therefore, The Godfather does not glorify the mafia in a simplistic way. It creates a fascinating but also tragic vision where power demands a heavy price. Well, everyone, that's all for today. What do you think about this topic? Did Puzo and Coppola romanticize the mafia? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep analyses like this one. Thank you very much and see you next time.